Good evening, everyone. Mighty right here with Icky. Icky, what is your last name again?
Yakov, Eki
Good evening,
Yakov.
everyone. Eki Yakov. All right, we are both shoutcasters. Icky is my
Yakov,
beautiful,
Eki
most
Yakov.
trusted, you brought all your colored pencils today
I
because
did.
you are gonna do color commentary, color casting. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, pretty much like 7 years of art school prepared me to be a color caster, and I'm super excited and ready to go. We got an awesome match between Decisive Maniacs and EVG Red. Actually, a full series tonight, so hopefully it goes quick, fast, lots of action, lots of gameplay. I know you're excited to shout about it.
Oh, Hex, yeah, I am exactly excited to shoutcast all these games. I've done higher ranked players before. It is a great experience. There's so much going on. There's so many gameplay, and as soon as I even try to predict where they're going, they won't even head the other way for sure, you know?
Yeah, it
They won't be
happens to
heading
me
to a
too.
different hill. Yeah.
Yep. That's exciting. We actually have gotten into pick and ban phase. Zir and Zyre, the first ones taken off the table.
Yeah, you see these high level players, they're a lot quicker with the bans. Come on.
They
They
are.
already know. They have it planned out, and if it doesn't work, then they go with plan C. Because if they go with plan B, then the other team can easily predict it.
Yeah, you gotta be less predictable than that. Go with C, D, E, F. Even sometimes flip it down to P or S. And it depends on what you want to do for the day. That being said, these teams, they played against each other already this season. They've watched some of the other games. They know the players. So these aren't going to be your typical solo queue bands. Sometimes they have to pick off the outliers, some of the really strong champions. But, I mean, like you're seeing here, the Sejuani, the Shen, the Skarner, even though the Skarner has been a pretty OP pick recently, these are mostly targets. And they're going to have a specific composition in mind that they want to pick for. And they're targeting bans based on what they don't want to see.
Definitely, as you can see, they don't want split push potential on the red side. They don't want any of those single picks, and they definitely do not want the Shurima shuffle, because the Shurima shuffle can definitely put the blue team into awkward positions, and the Taric is gonna be picked up. That is a huge pick. So any kind of engage, like now, you have to play a sort of backline engage moment where you are in the range of stuff and you have to do constant damage, because any damage that is burst, you got to be bursting enough to break the entire team before the Taric ult releases into the entire squad.
Exactly, and I mean, you talk about burst, and then you see Kog'Maw, so not exactly what you're talking about, but the Taric is such a strong support right now, has the Cosmic Radiance available for him to make everybody invulnerable. The tough thing is the timing, though, and we'll see how Tristoy can play on the Taric, but it's not just landing dazzles, it's not just looking super handsome all the time. You gotta know when your team is engaging. They have to be decisive. And, I mean, that's what their name has, so we'll see if they can do it. That being said, Jarvan picked up in the jungle in response, and we'll see what happens here for Cypher's Soul.
Jarvan is a great pick up, especially since the Sejuani is banned, and now they're going to counter it with a actual Counter-Strike champion, which is Jax. Jax puts in a lot of work, but I don't think he'll be able to get close enough distance to the Kog'Maw unless he fully commits with the flash to the leap. But even then, if Kog'Maw has this flash, he could just walk away out of that. And the Tristana, wow, a Tristana Taric, that is like the new meta at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just what people have been picking. Tristana is ridiculously strong, has the self-peel from the ultimate, which I think just got nerfed in this patch, but still very strong. Skills incredibly well into the late game, and then Taric, the support that everybody wants on their side. That being said, Iris has picked up Brand, and you can tell by his tag that Brand is a pick he wanted to get his hands on. With the recent item changes, the AP item changes, Brand is predicted to be an absolute monster, so I'll be real excited to see what they pick in to the Brand in the mid lane.
I honestly don't know what's more annoying, a Brand mid laner or a Brand support. Like I can't figure out how.
100% sure support.
Yeah, because how is he so strong? Like he's like a Zoe mid laner. He's just a support But yeah, he does so much damage. Like, I've
Yep.
seen that so many times. So, that being said, would you think they would actually switch that mid laner and flex it to a support champion?
I don't think so. I think that Iris for sure is going to be playing this in the mid lane. It could be a bait, but with the bottom lane already picked, the Taric and the Tristana have been picked already. There's no reason to try to bait out any picks in the bottom lane, because they've shown their hands, right? And so Camille and Gnar have been banned away. This is going to be the last ban of the game in the second phase, but they still need to pick their counter pick into the mid lane, and they still need to pick themselves a top laner. And so we'll see what the solo lanes come up with here for EVG Red.
Targeted bans here, the Lulu and the Janna pickups.
Yep.
I mean, the Lulu supplies not much of what the Janna can do, but those shields and the polymorph. I think the polymorph is way just a lot more complex than just a shield from the Janna, because the polymorph can be landed on anyone, especially J4. If J4 tries to do a flag and drag and then a Lulu ult, like he not just gets one knock up into a down like drop kick or whatever. He gets another knock up, an extra one from the Lulu. So that is good. Bans from the blue side. And the Janna, the Monsoon, it recovers health from all the teams, so they don't want them to even actually no scratch that. The Monsoon, they don't want them disengaging because they have the Taric. They want to engage on these fights. They want to continue these fights, and they want to chase them down while they can't die.
Yeah, especially with the Olaf pick here, the Jax, it is a pile on top of everybody composition so far, and it makes sense that they would pitch the support pool there because Taric has already been taken away, and the support is the last pick here for the Decisive Maniacs. And Sion was picked up in the top lane, a great pick, in my opinion. Sion underrated, and he is an absolute menace when you get him in solo queue. He has the poke with Comet, with the E, and Bard is actually the support locked in for the side of Decisive Maniacs, and that is a support I love watching.
Can the Bard ult interrupt Olaf's ult?
Well, that would be... Oh, shoot. I don't actually know.
Yeah, does anyone know in Twitch chat if that can happen? Because Olaf's supposed to be unstoppable. Nothing stops him.
I think Olaf would be able to go through it, but I don't think I've seen the interaction. So maybe we'll get a chance to see it this game, and our questions will be answered. But like you said, if you're in the Twitch chat and you know, let us know. That being said, we have the compositions all locked in. Vigor is the response to the brand in the mid lane, and that is the infinite scaling press R to win champion that is single target compared to Brand's annoying but press R to win multi-target. So that's going to be the matchup that I'm really paying attention to in this game, is the mid lane, because of how impactful these mages can be. The Olaf, the Sion, sure. I mean, the Olaf can really get ahead and snowball the game. But I really think it's going to be the junglers combined with the mid lane getting everything going. The Kog'Maw and the Tristana are A-okay with scaling. They're totally fine skipping the early game and going straight to the mid and late game. But this Brand and the Vigor, they're the ones who offer the support CC and the damage to secure some of these kills early. So I'll be really, really excited to see where Note and Cypher Soul are prioritizing their ganks.
So far, we did get confirmation from our Twitch chat. Thank you, Auto88. I hope I said your name right.
It's 8080. Yeah.
8080. Okay, thank you for confirming that with us, 808088. And I like blue side composition. They have an all-in comp, and then they're like, I like the safe fell with the Veigar pick, because they're gonna go all the way in. And then when they need to disengage, the Event Horizon is going to be able to supply that for them. But at the same time, Bran, I mean, he can totally lock them down even if they fully engage on this. They have extra stuns from the Sion, from the Bran, from the Bard, and from the J4. So they might be able to lock them down. Of course, they won't die, but at least after the Taric ult has worn off, they will not be able to run, and this is going to be a real fight, and that will be the win of Wits.
Yeah, I mean, both these compositions very well drafted. It's really similar. The only difference I'm seeing is how immobile the Kog'Maw is and how much damage the Olaf might potentially put out getting onto the Kog'Maw. It's going to be tough to peel for him when he is unstoppable. You're the Bard, and typically you'd be able to CC and peel pretty effectively for the Kog'Maw. But if you have an Olaf running full speed at your face as the Kog'Maw, and he's even a little bit ahead, that is bad news for Decisive Maniacs. We'll see how it plays out for us, but I think both teams have a pretty equal chance at winning. They just have slightly different game plans. A little bit more CC offered from the side of EVG Red with the Taric available. I mean, how are you gonna survive as a Kog'Maw with a Taric ulted Olaf running at your face? That's what I want to know.
That is a tough question because the Tristana is a counter to Kog'Maw. The Veigar is a counter to Kog'Maw. Jax, if he gets close enough to Kog'Maw, is a counter to Kog'Maw. Olaf is a counter to every ADC besides like a little bit of Lucian and some other ones that have a lot of mobility that can at least get away or clear up some distance between him and his unstoppable rage. But so far, that I have no answers to that question. I guess we'll just leave it to the player itself.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're going to have to do. We get to watch some League of Legends. We get to shout about some League of Legends, and I'm excited. If I were a betting man, I would actually go with the Sion. And there's one big reason on why I would predict the Sion team winning, and that's because the last time I predicted that a Sion would lose in Nightfall, he totally just shafted me, and I was wrong. And I actually put my life on the line. I said I would bet my life over Nard beating a Sion, and the Sion ended up winning. So I'm casting from the grave right now, and 80808 knows in the Twitch chat he's got this thing hanging over my head, and he's just going to keep doing it for, who knows, maybe the rest of the season.
Well, let me save you the troubles and go ahead and switch that magnifying thing, the hourglass around, so that way we can have you alive and well for this stream and this game today, because this is going to be an exciting game between these two teams. Go ahead, throw in those hashtags. Who do you guys think is going to win between Decisive Maniacs and our EVG Red?
And we'll see. I mean, you can tweet at me on Twitter at Ekiyakov. I probably won't respond because I don't really Twitter that much, but you can do it. I mean, nothing's stopping you guys.
The Ouija board has been brought out, and we have brought back Eki from the grave. That's right. So, how was it when you? How did it feel when you cursed your own life and just died for it? I mean, did it feel good?
I was confident coming in, and I'm not going to tell you it felt fantastic, but it really didn't feel that bad either. Pretty much just a nice even middle ground of not really feeling anything.
Yeah, and just a heads up, like stuff like that happens, especially what Eki did, besides the whole risking your life just to, oh man, I can't find that word, just to make sure, what is that word, just to make sure that you're right, just to kind of convince people that you're right, that
verify.
Yeah, like to verify that composition or the laning phase was supposed to lose, because honestly, champions and counter picks are one thing, but the player is another. The player is experienced enough. Counters don't even matter at this point. So honestly, and the game has been paused.
Yeah, it looks like the jungle got a box. I don't know what exactly that means. I assume it's some sort of package delivery or something, but it could be something much more sinister too. We could theorize all day about what's in the box.
Well, honestly, like, I would be more than surprised to see them hold off their lanes, even though they have been countered. And let's get to see some team fights and some successful ganks going on. So at the moment, since the game has been paused, we can go ahead and take a quick look at what is going on. The Olaf, it looks to be he is standing in the blue side of his blue buff.
Just
he's being
protecting.
He's being a human ward. Yeah, he's being a human ward. He wants to save up that trinket for later on, especially to put it down at the bottom brush. So that just tells me I think he might attempt to put a lot of pressure and damage to the top lane to set up a gank for the J4, or at least to set up a reverse gank, because if he's pushed up, that already tells the J4 that, look, I'm gonna go top because he's pushed up. And the Jax, he could be waiting at the wings. He could be in the brush where it's not warded, and the counter strike landing on both of them will do a lot of damage.
Yeah, Sion is the champion with more follow-ups. You see, the Olaf has the annoying slows coming out from the axes, and he can offer a lot of damage early on, but the slows may not be enough to secure a kill onto the Sion, as he is relatively tanky early with the Soul Furnace. That being said, add the damage of the Jax with the counter-strike in, and you have a recipe for a kill. J4, if he wants to come in to the party in this 2v2 in the top lane, then we could really see some action there. But I expect this to be in... I expect the junglers to have more action in the mid lane, though. We talked about it. The Brand, immobile mage. Like, what are these guys' weakness, right? What's Vigor's weakness? And it's ganks early on. Don't let him scale. And the same thing with Brand. He's so immobile, he's so slow, and he can only offer CC onto one target after level 3 with the Seer. And so if you put 2-3 people on him, he's got nowhere to go.
Yep, and even if these ganks don't come true, the Bard ult can definitely put Vigor at a timer in the Zonias that he doesn't even want to be put in at the moment, and they could definitely just combo him because he has no escapes. He has nothing to shield him with. He could probably build a Banshee's Veil, but that's about it, because as soon as they jump on him, especially a J4 with a Dustblade, if he builds it into a Warrior Stalkers, into that's a lot of damage, or maybe just instant death because he has the electrocute. Oh, a little bit of poke damage coming onto the Bard here, and Hoover, he is in range of this damage, and they're gonna put in some work. But also Tristoid, he's taking up a pretty good amount as well, but he does have that relic shield, so he will be able to pick his health back up. Oh, yeah. Actually, wait, there's going to be a level 2. So here it is. They're going to go ahead and they ignite on to the Bard here. And the Bard is going to be first blooded here. And Gami, he is running for his life. He does have flash, but he is going to save it. Nicely done by the Kog'Maw.
Yeah, that's the problem with the Bard in the bottom lane. He is absolutely squishy. The entire game, this guy is squishy, but especially in the first couple of levels. And he eats 2 dazzles to the face with the strong level 2 all-in from Tristana with the E and the W available. That is just not something you want to do, but they do see him in the jungle.
Yep, Jax is chasing down Maniac right here. And wow, what a return flash. And that flash, even though it was not fast enough, it will take him down. And Sion, oh, I thought he was going to go bot, but he's just instead going to put that ward down. He is afraid of Jax now. He is a healthy fella, full health, full mana. He could go for the top gank, but I don't think nothing will happen.
That's 2 kills already over to EVG Red, and their early game looking fantastic. The dominance that the bot lane showed, Reason and Tristoid, just fantastic play. They started with the level 1 trade, got him to about half health, and then they knew they were going to hit level 2 first. That's when they went aggressive. That's when they got the first blood. Then we saw the action in the jungle, Jax meeting the J4, and unfortunately for the Jarvan, Jax just wins in those early skirmishes based on Jax being able to counter-strike a lot of Jarvan's damage. So a little bit unfortunate for Note, but a great early game so far coming out from EVG Red.
Jarvan, he's at the bot side. He's going to get the scuttle. Maybe he might be looking for something here. They do know that there is a control ward there, but there is no follow from the J4. He's going to secure that scuttle first before he does anything. The Event Horizon is going to land onto the Brand, but it's going to not hit the mark. He's just going to sit in the center of it while dodging the Meteor Strike. And there is the fight again.
Yep.
Tristoid, the Tristana jumping over the wall. She is in position, but for the stun in favor of the Bard. And Nami is going to go down. Tristoid is going to go down 1-for-1. Support for ADC. There is no damage for the red side. Maniac, he's going to try to run. That's not actually his name, but it's just his tag.
It is now.
It is now. Yeah. He's a maniac for trying to like stay in that fight.
It was the Bard barely getting out. That is a kill finally onto the Tristana. She wasn't able to secure the first one when they got first blood down in the bottom lane, but she does pick up a kill there, and now she is 1-0-1. She started Cole, so you know she's going to have a bunch of gold coming into the mid lane, and that kill is going to kickstart it even farther. Look at the CS differential, 28-13 and counting in the bottom side of the map. This Kog'Maw takes a while to get online, at least the Rage Blade first, and he's so far behind, they may be able to just keep diving them over and over and over again.
Yep, Reason is going to give him a reason to regret giving him the lead, giving him the kills, and especially the XP lead. He is level 4 to Kog'Maw's level 3, and he is missing about a couple of waves, but I believe he will be able to I believe he'll be able to catch up on his XP, but it will be at the sacrifice of Bard's XP. But the Bard actually counters any of his roams. If he roams around, he could just collect his meeps and still be at the same level as everyone else.
We'll see. The Bard, I mean, he's going to be doing a lot of roaming to pick up those meeps.
Brand is roaming down. He is at the bot side. He's going to hit that blast cone. He's on the side here.
Nice.
And Tristoid, he's level 3. He is burning up here. He is
Brand's got to be careful.
And Tristana is on the backside. And wow,
nice.
Irish, great flash to avoid the stun and also to get out of Reason's range from the Tristana. Not enough damage and not enough to do anything right there. And it seems like we get a pause.
Yeah, another pause coming out, but gives us plenty of time to... Whoa, look at this. Ping issues. Tristan is beating with a belt, something, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, people going crazy in the chat. But we got a pause. We got action. Great roam here from Iris, using the blast cone to get behind the Taric. The Taric felt confident because they've been bullying the bottom lane so hard. And now Kog'Maw, he's got 2 kills for himself. So getting that power back in the hands of Jinagami is something they really needed to do. And although the very, very early game, I mean, we're only 6 minutes in and there's been a ton of action, so I love that. But although the first couple of kills went over to EVG Red, the Decisive Maniacs have struck back and they're doing just fine. They're about 1,000 gold down currently, but really not too bad. And the most important thing is that first turret blood. So if they can make some more action happen down here, especially with the Tristana being alone, then they may be able to squirt some of that gold back into their own pockets. Vigor did get a little bit of a push, though, with the brand roam, so Vigor will have an advantage there.
It looks like they're going to do a little bit of poke here, but not much for the bot lane. And speaking of leads, look at the mid lane. Veigar is up by 10, but might as well add another 10 AP to that if he gets any of those Q last hits on any of those minions. He's like a Nasus, but the AP version of it.
Yeah, he is. Annoying.
Skirmish here on the top side, and Sion.
J4's coming.
No is on the back line, and here is the flag and drag just to cover up that distance. Olaf, he flashes behind the Sion. He tries to play a little bit more aggressive, and the only way to win that fight was to dodge the Q from the Sion. But J4, he was in the dark, and he is gonna just kill him. And here is the gank at the mid lane. Control. He is a little bit low on health, but still the Kog'Maw, not level 6, does not have the extra range to do that extra damage. And Brand, no commitment, but he cannot. He doesn't have flash.
Yeah, that is a great job for the J4 in the top side of the map. Wow, so many pauses. I feel like I'm watching the Puppy Bowl or something with how many pauses are here. That being said, up in the top lane, with the J4 coming in. He goes for the lane gank. The Scion, he had the confidence that the jungler was going to be there first, and the Olaf wanted to finish the Scion off before the J4 got in. That's why he used the ult to get on the other side, so that way Scion couldn't run away from him. But little did he know the J4 was coming in, and it should have been the Olaf running away. So great counter gank from Note in the top side of the map, ties this game up 3-3.
He was very confident on that fight with the flash as well. He overcommitted, but the lane gank, I mean, you can't put a ward under the tower for obvious reasons for the as it gets revealed, and the J4 just roaming. There was no camps either on the top side. He just roamed up there. He knew that Olaf started the fight, and he definitely wanted to end it.
He did. He tried, but unfortunately for him, didn't have enough damage. Every time something happens, this is a cool thing about League of Legends. It's kind of like chess. For every or life in general, for every reaction, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That's true here in League of Legends. We see the J4 going up top. They get the kill, but this Jax has gotten a CS lead, about a 12 CS lead in the jungle so far. And the Jax clears camps very, very well. So while the J4 is helping out the lanes, the Jax is farming up. And this Jax farming up can really be a menace in the side lanes later on in the game.
Yeah, definitely. So Decisive, Maniacs, they have, I mean, they caught up in their lead, even though they had a really it wasn't that bad of a start, but definitely they were a bit behind, and they are catching back up into this game. Now this game is going to be all about that early objective. You can see like 4 members on the bot side, and the Kog'Maw and the Bard, they are in the dark right now. I don't know why they're not running in the lane, but that just says that they're going to try to go for an engage. You can see the Scion, he is at base, he has teleport. Bard, he can just do the traveling move. What is it called? It's like the E or something like that, like safe traveling. He can do that through the wall, put down a ward, let the Scion come in, and then they can go ahead and gank Reason and Tristoid at the bot side. But yeah, I don't know if that is going to be the play.
Yeah, the Bard portal, I actually don't, I think it, like something journey, magical journey? Is that
Magical Journey,
nice.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to come up with it because, yeah, the name wasn't ringing any bells for me, but Magical Journey is great. And if they can get the coordination from the J4 and the Brand to 4-man the bottom side of the map, it's a good option. And he can, using the Bard, you can actually portal in from about where the entrance to the blue buff is on the red side of the map all the way to the lane. And that can really make it so that way the other team doesn't have much time to react, right? It can catch them off guard. And so I'll be looking to see if the Bard goes for those aggressive plays. But Aphromu's kind of the player in the LCS that made the Bard look good. And how he made it look good was roaming around the map and getting literally every lane ahead and just constantly be making plays. What that does is it gets your team ahead, but on the other side of the coin, the Kog'Maw is left to fend for himself, and that is not a good idea. That's why normally you'll see a Bard paired with a AD carry who can do a little bit better farming on their own and staying safe on their own in a solo lane. So it's a little bit of dyssynergy from the support and the AD carry here, but I'll be real excited to see if Bard can pull off some of these ganks, pull off some of these roams, and help get the Decisive Maniacs ahead in this game.
All right, so they didn't go with the play that I was predicting. It was probably a bit too aggressive, but right choice anyways. They did have the bottom brush warded. And I don't know, like, I'm trying to force the teams down here to just go for these objectives. Get that early dragon, and before the rift pops up, and then go for the rift after you have accomplished getting the tower. And look at Tarek. He's hiding in that bush. Kog'Maw with the prediction. He knows he's there. Tristana with the commitment, but she does not want this fight. She's trying to run away. The Tarek, he is level 4. There's no way you're going to be able to do this. And here is the fight. No, with Cypher, so he does not want this either. And Veigar is coming down. Bran is coming down. This may be a 4-man or maybe a 5th man, depending on Dragon Zord.
I don't think so. I don't think we're going to see the 5th person, but teleport is available for the Scion. It is not available for the Olaf. So now is the time that the Decisive Maniacs would want to be making a play on the bottom side of the map with the teleport if they could. Obviously, they're going to lose a lot of pressure on the tower if the Scion teleports down, but just look at how terrible of a time Dragon Zord is having dealing with the Olaf in the top lane, and that's just the nature of the matchup. He can continue to press forward, throw the axe, pick up the axe, throw the axe, pick up the axe. He has the true damage with the E, and he has a ton of sustain. Looks like Olaf's going for it.
This might be a full engage right here. The lightning strike, the true damage. It's
One
gonna
more.
be enough here. Oh no!
Axe.
The flash. And the axe is gonna land. He needs to get out of there. The Scion's death is gonna come for him to haunt his soul. He wants to kill, but it's not gonna be enough. And he's gonna go down. But the J4, he's coming up. Will he be able to sacrifice towards the tower?
Yep.
He ends up trying to go back to his tower. And while all this is going on the off screen, they're gonna get the first tower at the bot side. Will this be a dragon take as well?
Overall, this was 100% worth it for EVG Red. They have the Tristana, the superior siege champion. They have the advantage on the bottom side of the map with the Jax there. They force him off. Jax goes for the engage.
The counter strike and the full engage coming in, and the Tristana. No
Iris
reason.
walking through him.
Brand needs to be DC'd or disconnected or lag or something. I don't know. Riot, fix your client, Riot. But anyways, the Brand is gonna die. They're gonna go on to Dragon Zord. Dragon Zord came down with the teleport, and here is the meteor strike with the ult. It's gonna kill him. He is dead once again, but no, his ghost is up. He might be able to pick something up here, but does not look like it. And now this maybe eyes on Dragon, but they are pretty low. They are risking a kill from deaths from the Bard. The Bard does damage. The J4 does damage, but I think they see J4 doing Rift, and I don't know if they are happy with this trade.
They actually will be happy with this trade. They have so much dominance right now that if the Rift Herald is unleashed, all they have to do is engage a fight. If the red team groups up to siege, they do have the blue team, has the superior composition right now. They're too far ahead. So Reg groups up. They try to unleash this Rift Herald. Like, sure, they can get something back, but they lost the Ocean Drake. They lost first Tower Blood, and now Olaf just continues bullying.
There he goes. He's going to fight both J4 and Dragon Zord. And I don't know who's going to win this, but there are 3 members, and Bard, he made no difference in damage nor stuns. He just pops the heal and just walks away.
Yeah, gets a little bit of extra gold for himself. That's how I like to play support too, you know. Don't actually do anything, but you do get the numbers from the assist. If you were playing fantasy League of Legends, then he'd get himself a few more points. And I mean, good on the Bard being out where the action is happening on the map, but this Olaf just got a little bit too confident. He's 1-3-0 right now. He has a decent chunk of his team's deaths, over half, and although he got the solo kill onto the Scion, he is playing so ridiculously aggressive right now. I think he really could dial it back a bit and focus on the objectives, get his team involved on the top side, and take this turret. All they need is a rotation from Jax, from Beager, or Tarek. Tristana should be safe to farm on her own now in the sidelines. Just rotate the bot side up to the top side of the map and take the turret, but I guess Olaf can do it by himself.
Yeah, he's going to take in. There he goes again. He's not going to dial it down. He's going to keep on going onto the engages. The rest of his team, they're at the opposite end of the map.
Ooh,
so
fail
they're
flash.
not going to be able, and a fail flash from the J4. He's not going to be able to chase that down. He's going to throw the undertow just for that disrespect. And here is another engage. The stun's going to land after the travel. And here is... Oh, actually, Reason's going to pick up that kill. I thought Veigar was going to do it for the extra AP on his passive.
Yeah, he went for it.
Mid lane too. They might be going for the mid tower here as Cypher, so he's standing in here. He's gonna get stunned up. Brand is gonna do the damage, but it's not gonna continue to follow up. He is worried about the team. Scion, he's coming down from the backside. He does have ult, and there it goes. The Veigar is gonna have the Brand stunned up. Oh, great flash to dodge Dragon Zord, and this is a lot of... No, not yet. They're not committing this. This is more of an engage from the blue side. And as the red side are trying to continue on to this fight, the blue team, they won't let them. Olaf, he's at the second tier tower at the top lane. Look at the stunts. Look, oh my gosh, Tristoid is gonna go down to that fight. Great Bard ult to stop the Vigar from any of these stunts, and it's gonna get interrupted. His flag and drag, the ult is not gonna be enough, but still, some of that AP is gonna be built up just by landing those damage. And here it is, more aggression on the top side. Zion, he comes around, but what looks to be unstoppable. He's actually not gonna continue that aggression. Finally gets to dial that down.
Yeah, the Olaf continually being aggressive, but this game is continually being aggressive, and Iris is doing his best to defend the mid lane tower here, but they're doing a good job sieging it. There is only about a third of the health bar left on the tower, and they can just keep doing this over and over again. They have the cage to zone back any defense, and then the Tristana 2-0 and 4 right now has the Infinity Edge already, doing a ton of work onto the towers. Olaf has the pressure on the top side of the map. EVG Red pretty much has full control of the game right now, and I like that they're focusing on the siege rather than the fights.
Here it is, the Rift is being summoned on the mid lane. What can blue team do about this, as all members except for the Scion is on the mid side, but it looks to be that they're just going to use the Rift just to do a little bit of that damage, so that way next time they do a team fight, the tower is at half health, so it's not too much to deal with when they want to push up that mid lane.
That's what I talked about when we were talking about the Dragon trade, as a cleanse has to be used from the brand to get on out of there. That's a scary place to be in the event horizon of Vigor, but we talked about the Dragon trade for the Rift Herald, and that's why it was 100% worth it. Because they don't have enough pressure, they don't have enough control to even siege well, that they're forced to use the Rift Herald on the mid lane only for the smallest chunk of damage onto the turret, and they get nothing else. So totally worth it for EVG Red as they continue to show their dominance in this game. About 5,000 gold up, mostly from the turrets.
Yeah, it is 2 turrets to 0, and even if it's 8 and 6, look at the CS lead. Olaf, he died 3 times, sure, but his CS though, over 41. Like, well, okay, it was until he cleared that wave.
It's okay.
But it's pretty high. Like, it's pretty high up there. And then between the Tristana and the Kog'Maw, there is definitely a huge difference there too, and the Tristana has finished her Berserker Graves along with the IE, so she has the attack speed, she has the crit and the extra crit damage, the blue buff going to Veigar. So I don't know, they might be able to do anything here because a lot of members from the red team, they are looking at the mid lane right here, all eyes there, and as they are going to attempt to clear these wards, as Tristana, she hits the Scryer Orb, she cut out some of those wards, she's just gonna ping them down. I think she might want to ward the Dragon Pit here, so we might see a Dragon fight soon.
Yeah, Dragon's coming up right now. Dragon is alive, and it will be another Ocean Drake. If they can get their hands on this one, gonna be good news for them to continue sieging. Anytime they get a little bit of chip damage on them, anytime they get a little bit of poke when they go for these sieges, they're going to heal it right back up with the double Ocean Drake available. Tristana going to pick up a big wave on the bottom side of the map, but the rest of the team should be focusing on grabbing this outer turret.
Look at Olaf, he's going right in. He's going to help himself for that damage or either of those kills, but it won't be enough. But still, that pressure from that Olaf is going to secure the mid tower, the tier 1, and the J4. He barely dodges that. There is Cypher, so there is no ward. They don't know he's here. He's going to probably cast the Counter-Strike anytime soon. And there it is. The Counter-Strike is going. No, he is stunned, but I don't think there's any follow-up here. Tristoid, will he be able to flash in? No, he's not. He's not going to commit to that flash and definitely control. Maybe he would have had that if that commitment was there from the Taric.
Honestly, that was well played by Note getting out of there. Had the tricky flag and drag over the Crescent camp, and he got himself out without giving over another kill, so good job by Note to escape the situation. That being said, the situation that the game is right now and just how terrible everything is looking for for Precision as Bard goes down.
Taking out Bard, but Bard has put them
Here
both
comes the Brand
on.
ult.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait a minute. What is going on down here? Are they going to engage? Are they not? Because look at these stuns. Look at the Event Horizon. He's putting them in the center here. Reason, he has low health. You don't have to be there. Watch out with the J4, and J4, he's going in with the Cataclysm right after. He shuts him down, but still,
Scion on the backside.
There is a Scion on the backside. He's going to try to get some help here, but the Brand, he's going to die. There is no help for Cypher Soul here. No assistance. He's going to die as well. They're going to continue to this fight, and the carries, even though
the Cog
Gammy is alive, he has no mana. The stopwatch is going to go off, but it does not matter. He's going to get taken down by Control. The only one alive right now is Scion from the bot side. Bard is on the top. He's trying to stop Olaf.
Here comes J4.
He's adding a lot of counter pressure, and the
nice.
J4 is here. And wow, nice meteor. And the flash was unnecessary, but it was definitely safe. And look at that unstoppable Olaf.
My God.
He is threatening an inhibitor tower here. Brand, he has to reel off to the top lane, otherwise they do lose that tower. But in exchange for that defense at the top lane, they're gonna get this this tier 2 bot tower.
And this is just where having a gigantic gold lead means you can pretty much do whatever you want on the map. The Olaf, I criticized him a little bit for his aggression on the top side, but that aggression has put so much pressure on the Maniacs to react to him and to put multiple people where the Olaf is. And when multiple people go to the Olaf, that means they can easily siege the turrets on another portion of the map. They have the Taric for the disengage, they have the Vigor for the disengage, and that's just what they've been doing. They put some auto attacks with the Tristana Bomb on the tower, then they disengage, and if a full fight comes through, they have so much gold already, it's just a little bit too little too late. The Tristana 3-0 and 8 and is doing so much damage, especially the Vigor as well, 5-0 and 2.
Oh, goes down, and oh my gosh, the magical journey, it's gonna barely save his life, and that is a real good chance for that. Good job from Bard. He saw the teleport, and he actually prioritized the safety for the Brand. But right now, Olaf, he has a huge lead. He has 206 farm to 139. It is actually at perfection to the time limit as well. So he is huge right now. He has the Black Cleaver, the Tiamat with the pickaxe. So he's going to get that Hydra. He's not even going to get his tier 2 boots because why?
He doesn't care.
I can just ult. Yep. I can't be stopped. I can't be slowed. And I'm just going to kill you.
Yeah, he wants damage, he wants wave clear, he wants to continue establishing dominance, and he may be worst Aurelia world, but he is #1 Olaf this game. He is absolutely showing dominance on the top side of the map. There's a big wave push in top side too, so if they decide that they want to split the map up a little bit, they can. Bard goes for an engage though.
Yeah, this isn't engaged, but it will cost him his life. Will they be able to finish off what he has started? And it looks like it will be a 2-for-1 and now a 2-for-2, and it is a double kill for Olaf. He's gonna go ahead and chase on into this. Reason is gonna rocket jump right onto the J4, add that extra slow, has the red buff. He is not gonna get away. There is no escape from this Dragon Sword. You are next, and you are also gonna get to the gray screen. This is an ace, the first ace in the game for EVG Red.
Yeah, that should be a Baron for him. Pretty easy. That's just what happens. I talked about a gigantic gold lead, 13,000 gold up at this point, and Decisive Maniacs, they need to try to salvage what they can. Their only chance is turtling up for another 30-40 minutes or something like that and getting the Brand and a Kog'Maw to a spot where they can actually do damage. But 0-3 Brand, 0-6 Bard. I mean, there's just not a lot going well for Decisive Maniacs at this point. And maybe they can turn it back around, but with the Baron buff available and the already superior siege composition from EVG Red, it looks like they should have a pretty easy time closing this game out.
So far, the Olaf, he was destructive without empowered minions, and now the Baron buff is going to be a lot in his favor. He's pinging out the wards, but he does not care who is going to stop him from this push, as the rest of his team, they're going to go for this Dragon Vhagar. He's going to stick to the side. He wants to be sneaky. He wants to land those Event Horizon and full combo anyone. And wow, this Olaf, he's 3 levels above Dragon Sword. What are you doing? Don't try to 1v1 him. He's a monster. But it looks to me he's not going to fully commit to that fight. He thinks thinks he's just going to ult away, which is a possibility. He can't stop him, and he does not know where the rest of the team are. So it looks to be he's going to wait so he can actually develop this minion wave. So that way when his team is pushing, he'd be able to push back. And this is his time to fight now. Dragon Zord, he's actually going to face death if no one comes for him. And everyone, they are still at the other side of the map. And Dragon Zord, that is a solo kill for worst Irelia in the world, I guess. And they're gonna push up this mid tower. He is not gonna continue onto that top push, but I don't think it matters as long as he buys. He gets more armor. Wait a minute. Actually, he has teleport. This is smart. He can teleport right into this fight if he has to. And it looks to be they're going to get this mid inhibitor, and he's going to sit in the fountain. Oh, this Olaf, he is sneaky. He's going to wait for a chance. He's going to wait for his chance, and there it is. There is the Olaf. He's going to have the home guards from the fountain, and he is rushing up, but he will not find what he is looking for. So they're going to go ahead and maybe rotate to the top as the pings are going to the top lane. But that is actually from the enemy team. They are predicting that the Olaf is going to split push, and they are right. Your predictions are correct, Red Team. He is going to go ahead and split push.
Engage.
This is their time to engage while Olaf is at the top, and he is going to continue
Poor
on
man.
the inhibitor. The Taric ult is going to land, but a great counter-active ult with the part. There's a two-man flag and drag into the Cataclysm. Veigar is still alive. Their damage dealers aren't even injured. They are healthy as heck, and they're going to continue on to this fight. The Tristana reset. The Event Horizon is going to land, and here's another reset for you all.
Quadra kill. Give him the penta.
Ace, and this is gonna be it. A quadra kill, but no, the penta's gonna go to Olaf, but still quadra kill for reason on the Tristana.
Oh my gosh, the Tristana. All you have to do is dodge that skill shot at the end, and reason that pentakill would have been yours. But that's okay. A quadra kill is good enough. 25-10. And this is EVG Red absolutely crushing in the first game. 25 minutes, easy victory. GG.
GG for EVG Red as they take their first game out of best of 3 series tonight. So if you guys want more action, you stay tuned. You do not move. And Muscle, don't even switch to any other channel. This is way more important than anything else in history.
He's not exaggerating, guys. see you after the break.
Maybe a little. I mean, honestly, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I love this fight.
Great game from both teams. EVG Red, though, crushing it 25-10 in kills. And it was just fantastic throughout for them. They got the early leads, they got the mid-game fights, they got control of the Drake, and they had the superior the superior sieging composition and played that composition to a T. Not much else we can talk about other than that they just totally steamrolled the game, and I'll be very excited to see what adaptations come out from the Maniacs in Game 2. You guys don't go anywhere. We are going to be taking a quick break, but we'll be back for Pick Bans in Game number 2. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is game 2, EVG Red versus the Decisive Maniacs. And unfortunately for them, in game 1, they may have been decisive, but it wasn't the right decisions. And we are already in the middle of pick bans. I'm going to just rattle it off for you. Kog'Maw's banned, Vigor's banned, Azir's banned, Xayah, Shen, and Sejuani all banned. They pick the Taric and the Tristana once again on the bottom side of the map. And if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, definitely. They had a really good comp right there, and the Azir, Veigar, and the Kog'Maw. This time, they are going to switch up that ban list, but honestly, that is exactly what I mentioned on the first game, that do not go with plan B. Go for something unreal, pretty much like out of the box, because they have expected the bans for the Veigar and for the Kog'Maw, and pretty much they're gonna keep the same Azir. Maybe they expected a different third ban so they can play the Azir, but definitely they did an auto lock on the Taric and on the Tristana once again. So that is already looking to be a bad start, but it looks to be that Irish, he's gonna pick up that Zac for the jungle, and that's actually a good pickup against the Taric. He can push the entire team far away. And who is that? I've never seen that picture.
That is literally the ugliest splash art I've ever seen in League of Legends, and I am a connoisseur of ugly splash art. So that was Xin Zhao.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah,
no
mind blown. That was Xin Zhao doing his best
Wow.
Zoolander impression. He has the world's smallest mouth. It's like if you watch Rick and Morty, he's like he's in the Lil Bits commercial. It's ridiculous. Skarner, though, is the one who was locked in for him, so we don't have to deal with the tiny mouth of Xin Zhao. We have to deal with the gigantic, scary mouth of Skarner, and that is a great pickup in the jungle. They do ban, I want to mention this, they ban away the Cho'Gath from Iris, and that is one of the champions Iris plays very, very well, the AP Cho'Gath mid, and so they give the respect band over to him. But look at all these mid laners who are banned away. Azir, Vigor, Cho'Gath, all banned. Brand is open once again, but he didn't really have that much success on him before. So let's see what they do to get back in. But already, the Skarner, very similar to the Jax before. Somebody who can get in to these fights, get the CC on the targets, and really just wants to run towards your backline. And with the Taric ult available, it is pretty scary. So Camille won't be played, neither will Gnar. But let's see what the top laners pick for themselves here.
Again with the Sion, but this time on EVG Red. So they did ban the Olaf and the Camille, so that means that they now know. First of all, last picks and bans, they thought the support was the big deal, and it was, but it should have been a Taric ban instead of a Azir ban, or maybe a Camille ban. But it seems like he is not confident enough to go against either of those two top laning champions against worst Irelia world, and I'm surprised he hasn't even chosen Irelia at this point.
Yeah, maybe Irelia, maybe it was he was one of those one-trick ponies, really good, and now he's trying to expand his horizon, kind of break the mold, get known for more than just one champion. But he will get his hands on the Sion and will be able to prove what he can do with the Sion in his hands. He played against it last game and absolutely crushed with the Olaf. Now he's going to be playing Sion into the Gangplank in the top, and Iris locked in the Malzahar. So let's see what the counter is to Malzahar in the mid lane for control. And it is Xerath.
I was about to say Xerath, Ziggs, like something that you can pop the bubble from the range and pretty much make him invulnerable for the Skarner for that pickup. But the Zac, though, he is the counter to that. Skarner may run in and pick his target, but Zac is able to just jump into the back line and zone out the DPS and Gangplank as well with the barrels. If he lands any of those barrels and he has the Triforce, he has the IE, he has his crit items, it's just going to do a lot of damage. But I don't know how he's going to hold on against Sion, who yet again just pretty much put in a lot of damage and a lot of stress and also a lot of pressure in the last game. It was all about the worst Irelia world at that game. So I would give my MVP votes, which we haven't. I would give it to the top lane for EVG Red.
Yeah, I mean, last game, Worst Aurelia World did so well exerting pressure, but honestly, the Reason and Tristoid in the bottom side of the map, who were playing Tristana and Taric, went ham. They absolutely dominated early on, and Tristana continued to dominate the rest of the game. And the Taric, he did his job, but my focus on Reason on the carry, Tristana did so well, and she's so effective at sieging, and that's what got them the snowball rolling. Like, you can get 3-4 kills onto your carries, but if you don't take down any of these objectives, any of these towers, you're not going to be getting gold onto the rest of the team. But in this case, when you siphon the gold into the Tristana and she can knock down the towers give the gold to the team gives you more gold when they're engaging, and it's just a very positive feedback loop for EVG Red. And they were forced to do something slightly different this game because of the picks and bans, and I'm glad that Decisive Maniacs adapted a little bit here. But once again, I feel like EVG Red won the draft. They have the Tristana Taric that they've been proven on. They have the Taric ult on top of a Skarner and a Scion. The only thing weird here is the Xerath, because the Xerath's going to be sniping away from the back lines, and he's so easy to be caught by the Zac, by the Braum, and interrupted. It may be tough for Control to get into the positions to do as much damage as possible. That and the Gangplank can put the ult onto the Xerath and force him to move into unfavorable positions. So I do think that Decisive Maniacs have put themselves in a position to pick up a win here in game number 2. But just at how dominant the bot lane was last game from Reason and Tristoid makes me believe that EVG Red may have the edge once again.
Yep, as I said before on the first game, picks and bans are one thing, but team performance is another, as we will see the Xerath. I mean, I do agree with you. It's a little bit awkward, but I do see the combo here. If they even try to escape, the Xerath ult has no limits on that range. Well, sorta. I mean, level 3 is just a huge circle, and he can just shoot his beams. But if he gets any of those kills, if the Tristana was around, or even gets one hit, it gives her the free resets. And then the Scion, if he does not use his ult to engage, he can definitely chase it down. And most likely, I see the Skarner dying early in these team fights, and definitely the Taric, because they're just there to protect the rest of the members that are actually going to do the damage. And the Skarner is the one that's going to risk his life the most in order to pick up one of the members from Decisive Maniacs, into putting him into a bad position, setting him up for a Scion Q, setting him up for a Xerath stun, or maybe even just setting him up for a Buster shot for whatever reason necessary. But we will see the dominance between, not really much between champions, but between players.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what comes out in this game. Maybe there will be a different early game plan from Decisive Maniacs. I want to say they played aggressively in the early game, and it just went wrong for them. Maybe if they can actually execute their aggressive early game plan, they can transition that into a better mid game. But sometimes when you start off with the Bard, you start off with the aggression on the bottom side, looking for the picks with your support, and then it turns on you. It does bad. Then you can lose your confidence as a shot caller, as a playmaker, and then that can just really snowball out of control. Now that Hoover is on the Braum, on something a little bit more safe in the early game, and they have all this frame of reference for how Reason and Tristoid played last game on those same exact champions. Hopefully they can adapt, hopefully they can change, and hopefully they'll come out with something a little bit better in the early game.
What happened to the League client? I don't get those, grayed out black screens. Is it just because these people have good computers and sometimes, one person doesn't connect, so it takes a while for them to load into the game? But
Riot just doesn't support the spectator client very well. There's been a bug in the spectator client, which we haven't ran into as much recently, but it used to be so bad that you would have to actually spam the plus on your keyboard in order to stay up to date and like in sync in action, because there would be so many skips and pauses in the spectator client that you would desync if you were watching the game at the same time. Like me and you would be at different points of the game, and it was absolutely ridiculous. So they just have other priorities, right? They have to balance Zoe. They can't work on the spectator client.
I would like for you to change scenes.
No. You guys get to watch just the just this scene right now. You know, we really don't want to show you the game. If our casting is good enough, then you guys don't even need to watch the game.
Yeah, you guys could just like imagine like you guys are there, you know? That's how we take you onto that magical journey. But right now, it seems to be that demonic maniac. Wait, what? Decisive. Oh wait. Oh my gosh, I was saying it all day, right? But anyways, the Skarner's gonna start from the blue side. And then the Zach is going to start his blue side as well. So a bit of a change here for Maniacs, as they are going to try to maybe get an early engage at the bot lane. But instead, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, they are going to push up. So they're going to want to try to get the waves into their favor. So that way it forces them down to their tower. So by then, Zach should be level 3 and ready to engage. But it depends on the top lane and any other pressure, because right now Xerath, he looks pretty juicy for that gank as well, because he is over the line. He is over the midway point, actually trying to put that poke onto Mouse, but Mouse, he takes up a little bit of damage in exchange for Xerath's mana. But for every auto attack, from every 15 seconds or something like that, he gets like mana back, so it is all good for damage.
Yeah, and the mana flow bend's really going to help too. Xerath was, I was a old school Xerath main, and actually was one of the best Xeraths in the world for a while, and so Xerath's my boy. But that being said, he used to have mana problems, and now he doesn't, but they may have problems in the bottom lane if they keep trading.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and engage on this. They're going to try to get some damage down as Tristoid, he gets that. Oh, here it is, Zax. Just like I said before, they tried to get their minion wave in the favor. He's getting that elastic slingshot. He does not land. And will the Q land? Yes, it will, but the stun is going to go ahead and distract him. He's going to be pushed back, and it is a flash. And first blood coming in from the
wow.
For the blue side, he lands the Q. I think it was a hail of
arrows, the Q, and the Ignite. Just the final tick from Ignite, plus the Q and the hail of arrows. That was phenomenal, but we do have action in the river.
Another fight here around the Dragon Pit. The blue team, they are going 4 against 1, and Skarner, he has to leave. That is not in his favor at the moment. He is at an odd. So right here, Tristoid tries to go ahead and put a little bit more pressure. Maybe he wanted to see where the Braum is doing, and the Braum, he's going to stay in that jungle. He's trying to put pressure here, but Tristana can just jump over the wall, and it could be his death, but we do not know, as we will see what he is actually up to. And the top lane, Dragonzord, he is just low health and no mana. And here comes Tristoid with the engage once again. The Dazzle's gonna land. Gami, he's gonna keep on doing that damage, and he's gonna proc that Braum passive right into that bush. There is a flash and ignite, and while all this is happening on the off screen, the mid lane, they're gonna go for a fight here, and there we go. Going back to the bot lane, it is a 1-for-1, but this is gonna be looking to be in favor for Tristana, but Braum, he does have the flash, and he's just gonna get that stun off, and that explosive charge, not enough damage. If it would have been 2 more hits, he would have died, but maybe he would have flashed out before then.
Yeah, that was a interesting play. They're gonna miss so much from that. So it may not seem like a lot to these people watching, but with the kill going on to the Tristana, that's bad enough. But look at how many minions potentially this Varus is going to lose here, and all the experience from him. He will be able to soak up the back end of this, but that is a massive wave, and already half health onto the turret on the bottom side of the map. I was going to praise this bottom lane, Jinagami and Hoover, for coming in and doing a lot better this game with the aggression, getting the first blood on the bottom side of the map, but then they give it right back over, and they give up the tower pressure there with just poor timing, and it was well played by Reason and Tristoid, but that is just tough luck here once again for Decisive Maniacs, and there's been a ton of action. That's the one thing I will say about these two teams, is they have been fighting constantly.
Look at the damage onto Dragon's
So
Sword.
good.
It looks like Skarner, he's actually going to sort of inch his way to the top side, but that is just a scuttle, and look at that. It's going to land on the
weird
stun,
flash.
and weird flash. He's going to try. He almost overcommitted there, and
He
there
did.
is his chance right here.
Q.
But look at Dragon.
Yep.
Oh, actually, he might be able to get it out or not, and here
Xerath
is the
ult.
Xerath from the, he is safe to just do that damage from the backside, and this is gonna be a kill. Skarner's gonna pick up the Varus. The passive from the Zac is gonna be down as well, and Tristana, this is gonna be a 3 for Dragon Pit, but also there is a 1 kill exchange at the top.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to Connor, the My Little Pony fan, and I got to give a shout out to EVG Red. Oh, look at that. Here comes
And
Sion.
like
Knocks
he's
him
gonna
out.
dive him with his ult. He forces down a level 6 and just completely obliterates him. That tower is gonna do nothing for you, Dragon Zord.
Yeah, I mean, the Sion, he came back in, he used the ultimate to pick up the Gangplank, who was a little bit greedy picking up the wave. Really wanted to go back with more gold in his pockets, and he gets punished for it, but that is already first turret blood. 7 minutes into the game for EVG Red, and that is going to give him such a lead. Jinagami is going to put damage down onto Reason and push back this wave, but that is not worth it by any stretch of the imagination. Sion, interesting play up in the top side of the map. For, you know, he flashed, and then the Gangplank flashed after him. Weird stuff, but we do see Zac engaging on him once again, maybe able to walk out of this.
Here is the fight right here, but I don't think he's going to go for too long. He fakes a hit onto the blast cone. I've never done that before, nor even seen that before, but they stopped chasing after him. But either way, it is a good idea to blast that cone away anyway, because it could be to their advantage to get a gank on the top side through his blind side, and double demolished, by the way. The Taric has demolished, and so does the Sion. So if they get any of these fights or any of these split pushes done really well, they're going to be able to push up these towers really, really fast, especially with the Tristana and the Taric demolished. That is a lot of damage, and he is going to continue onto this pressure at the top side. He might try to get Dragon Zord, but he's just going to eat an orange. He's going to get rid of the stun.
Yeah, I mean, this is the composition that EVG Red has came out and said, we want to play this. They want a siege. They want to be able to engage, disengage, poke, and siege. And the Xerath fits in to the poke style, and the Skarner and the Sion fit into the engage. Taric with also the engage and the disengage. So it's a well-rounded composition, but not when you get Mouse ulted.
Look at that. Mouse is going to sneak into that bush. He's going to ult him, but it is not enough to run away. He does use that flash, but he was ignited. So maybe even the heal may have not been able to save him. So he's going to save it for the next team fight. But this could be a dragon take. This is all eyes here, but Xerath, he is in the river right now. He's going to probably try to do as much damage to Iris here, but Iris, he's not going to look for any trouble right now, and there is the Zac. The Zac is at the back here. He is too far away for that elastic slingshot. Iris, he's trying to bait the Xerath a little bit closer here, but I don't think it's going to be worth it as you are pretty low here. The health is way too low, and that is going to be almost one shot away for a secured Xerath kill for control. And there is the other damage that's going to do that slow, but it looks to be he's going to disengage.
Yeah, I mean, the Xerath hits the stun onto Iris, able to plunk him with a couple hits the ultimate, and the ultimate does so much damage, but it's also really, really hard to hit. Obviously, when they're CC'd up, it's much easier, and the Xerath did a good job immediately activating the ultimate to pop a couple of shots onto him and force Iris back. That being said, Iris did a great job ganking, lane ganking the bottom side of the map and helping get a little bit more control on the bottom side. They already lost the tower, and this game is looking so much like last game. A little bit of an early lead from Reason and Tristoid, follows by Iris trying to help out the bottom lane. They get a kill, but then Iris loses lane control. Now Control is the one in control. And he may be able to spin this once again. All they need to do is get the Tristana, get the Taric rotated up, and allow the Scion to continue bullying. And they'll just, once again, be on their merry way, sieging down these turrets. But we do have a Drake spawning in 1.5 minutes, and the Scion is using his ultimate to get back to lane.
How fast is that Scion going to be exact? Just to get into lane. I mean, that is a quick process. It saves the teleport, and even then he doesn't have it, but it's about to be up, and there is another engage, maybe for the bot lane, and
Back
here
on.
it is. It's gonna be in favor for the blue side instead. The Buster Shot, sure, it's gonna push him away, but it's not far enough, as they are gonna secure that kill onto the Taric. So this is definitely gonna be the bot tower. Will Skarner, will he be able to look up and try to get the rift in exchange for the bot side? And there is the Tristana. She is going to go and group up with the Xerath. It looks to be that the Skarner and the Tristana could be looking for something here at the mid side with the Xerath, but I don't know, and we're gonna have to just wait and see what's gonna happen. The Skarner, he is actually starting on the rift here, but it is a little bit too late. Because if he did it a lot sooner, it'll be a lot safer, but I don't think it's going to matter, as no one is rotating up there. No one has any vision. No one has any clue that it is being taken right now, and that is going to be a great loss. They're actually going to focus down on the dragon side. If they get the rift fast enough, then they're going to be able to roam down to the bot side.
They pick up the Rift Herald for themselves, and that's just another objective in their name. Good news is that this time, Decisive Maniacs were able to pick up the first Drake, and they do have control on the bottom side of the map right now. So they may pick up another Drake, and so that at least gives them a win condition. They do get the engage.
And the engage here at the bot lane, once again, Taric and Tristan, they're going to be pushed closely together, and here is the Skarner. He's going to lock down Varus. He's not going to be able to do any damage. Reason, he has more reasons to keep on engaging on this fight, as he has the rocket jumps, and there is the Taric. He sits on the edge. It was just in range to land that stun, and to also transfer it from himself to the Tristana. That is one kill, and here is the top lane as well. Once again, the skirmish is in favor more on the worst Irelia world, almost killing him. His W is almost up, and there is another engage on the mid side. Xerath almost killing the here it is,
flash.
and he almost gets the kill, forcing a flash, which is worth, because next time he's gonna kill you.
Yeah, he is. The Xerath doing a great job in the mid lane, has the Archangels available. If you guys don't know just yet, oh, where's Irelia world going for the dive, but maybe the outplay with the hourglass. Woohoo! That was close. Well played by the Gangplank.
Maybe Sion did know. He tried to force that stopwatch to be placed or to be used early, so that way next time he could get the dive. But honestly, he does have full confidence that he could tank up that tower and walk away, because he has that frozen heart. That is a lot of armor, and if he gets a ninja tabbies, which it looks to be, he's gonna probably get the Sunfire Cape instead. So now he's gonna have a lot of armor, a lot of health, and consistent AoE damage as well.
Yeah, it's these solo laners from EVG Red that are absolutely dominating right now. The Xerath up 26 CS, the Scion up 31, and you can see it because every time the camera pans into these solo lanes, it's always EVG Red having the advantage, and it's great that Decisive Maniacs had picked up a tower for themselves. They picked up a Drake for themselves. They're really not out of it at all by any stretch of the imagination this game, and at this point in last game they were already getting rolled over. So if the Gangplank can get a couple more items underneath his belt, if the Varus can get another item, and Malzahar can get picks onto priority targets, they do have a chance. But I still do think that EVG Red has been showing great control this game.
Varus, he's at the top side. He's gonna try to do something here, but he is all alone. He is away from his support, and there is a TP coming in from Gangplank, but here is 2 members from EVG Red, the bot lane. They are here to protect the top, and wow, what a great interruption, the suppression onto the Tristana. The Terrico is just not gonna be there in time to secure his safety, but this is it. The Rift is being summoned at the mid lane. You're gonna add the counterweight and the counter pressure onto this top side, and they're gonna trade a tower, but for 0 kills as blue side, the Decisive Maniacs, they will pick up 2 kills for themselves.
And they get it, and now it's tied up 7-7. Decisive Maniacs, great job with the counter aggression there. And now EVG Red isn't going to be as confident coming into some of these fights. They do have the gold lead, but losing the fight there means that maybe they're going to start second guessing themselves. And if they're not all on the same page with their engages, then it's not going to be as crisp and as clean as they had in game 1. They're allowing this Gangplank to get to the late game. They're allowing this Varus to get some more items underneath his belt. And I got to talk about it. The Braum 3-1-3 right now. Hoover, he didn't really have the best game on Braum, so it's great to see him on Bard last game, and he is having a good game on Braum this time. So getting him on somebody who can peel, who can provide more consistent CC and isn't as squishy seems to be much better for the Decisive Maniacs here. We do see the bot lane rotating top because there's a huge wave, and I think if the Zac rotates there too, we might see a 3v3.
Yep, but it looks like Xerath, he's gonna go ahead and go back to the bot lane. Maybe he tried to look for something here, or maybe he just sort of trying to predict where these wards are. He does not have Oracle's land, so he has to be careful on where he is gonna go. So this is definitely a lane swap, but honestly, Gangplank is facing risk at the lane swap here since both towers are gone. He has nothing to defend him this time, and there it is, the Scion. He's gonna play really aggressive here. He's gonna try to land that Q, but I don't think it matters. His auto attacks, he's just super tanky here. He is gonna dodge that barrel damage, but it looks to be Gangplank is gonna be holding off for himself as well. Here is a sneak play, the death brush, and this is Braum. He's gonna flash over. He could have just jumped over to the Varus, but it looks to be he was very impatient there. He could have trusted his teammate, and there it goes again for the Scion and the Gangplank. He is just trying to win the solo lane game.
He is, and he is winning it. I mean, up 41 CS at this point. Worst Aurelia World in both these matchups today has been doing good, but a little bit premature on the ult. Zac comes in.
And let's go ahead and see this fight here. Skarner's going to pick up the Gangplank. His oranges won't work. He had just used one to dodge the Scion here. He is getting fairly low. The rest of the members for EVG Red, excluding Tristana, is at the bot side now. They're going to go ahead and protect Worst Aurelia World, and look at that damage. Tarek, the Xerath ult. He's going to try to land a couple of this damage onto Irish, but he's going to just dodge them all. And it is good, actually, except for one. But the Tristana, though, she's adding that counter push on the top side, and there is the teleport. I sort of predicted that. And Varus is the only one at the top side protecting it. This is gonna be 2 towers for no reward for the blue side. And this is a stun onto Braum, but that is not the target you want. He's going to mitigate a lot of that damage using that shield. They're going to go ahead and continue on this siege for as long as they can, but they have ran out of minion waves to continue on, so it looks like they're just going to regroup at the Dragon Pit.
That's what they do. I mean, that was fantastic macro play here from the side of EVG Red, or maybe if you want to call it a little bit of a misplay from Decisive Maniacs, not looking very decisive there. They wanted to go for the engage, and I think that would have been an okay call, but a decent disengage from EVG Red allows the Scion and the Tristana to push on the top side of the map, and they get the turrets. Decisive Maniacs don't get any kills, even with the numbers advantage, and then pull that back even longer. Second Air Drake goes over to EVG Red, and this is what happened last game. It's just it looks like a slight adaptation from Decisive Maniacs, but not a full one, because the siege keeps happening and they keep showing up on the doorstep with the Tristana, but there's just been no answer to it so far.
Yeah, definitely, and this is gonna be risky for the Varus. He is forced to farm far up into these lanes because everything else is pushed up, and you have to share the love for the gangplank. He only has 120 farm. He's been put behind because of the Scion, and also not getting those engages for his ult. It just goes all across the map.
It is, though.
And there is the engage right here onto the Taric. The gangplank on is gonna slow him down. The suppression from the mouse. He gets stunned up, but it was just enough damage to complete that fight. This is one member down for EVG Red. Will they be able to continue on this siege? But here comes Scion. Where's Irelia World, and here is the Zac engage right on top. He's gonna get on no one, and here is the Scion. He's just jumping right in. He passes by the Braum, but he does not care. There is the pick for the Zac, and there is his Blubbers. They are just gonna die right here. This is definitely not what they want to see, because Baron, it is up, and Zac is dead, and so is the support. Will they be able to defend or even that contest against this Baron? And we will see this as they are just gonna go ahead and just start hitting onto this dragon. I mean, Baron, it is being shredded down. It is going down bit by bit. And here is the gangplank on the side, and so is Mouse. And here it is. They're just gonna turn it. They're gonna stop them from getting into that pit, as the barrels they land even on anyone, and they will actually disrupt his barrels. Here comes the Terrico. None of them are gonna die. They're gonna be able to continue on and push up these fights. But it seems like Varus, though, he plays it extremely safe, and he is just at the safe range. And I wish that Taric's shield was on the Tristana. It would have definitely landed the stun. And now will they turn back onto this Baron? But I don't think so.
Baron was a good call. They forced Decisive Maniacs out into a disadvantageous fight, and Control is going for a kill onto the Varus.
Varus putting himself out of position. He's gonna go ahead and flash, and look at this. He's gonna pick up the kill. The minions, they almost kill him, but he does get the extra ult, and it looks like he's not gonna drop the Zerath. He gives him the thumbs up. Thanks for the kill, bro. And here it is, the continuous fight from the Tristana. She does not have mana for the rocket jump. She's just gonna have to manually walk with her small legs and try to catch up to the Zac. But the Zac, though, he has the Alexa slingshot. Here it comes, the Skarner with the pick onto the Malzahar. That is just 3 members down for oh my gosh, I always mess that up. Decisive Maniacs. Yep. They are just gonna get those 3 kills.
And that's what happens. I mean, you were talking about Tristana's little legs, but you know she's thick anyway. And she's been so thick this game, 7, 3, and 4. She's got the Infinity Edge, the Static Shiv. Cole completed, hasn't even sold it yet. So, I mean, she's going to have big stacks of cash in her pocket when she decides to go back. And it is EVG Red just having their way with Decisive Maniacs 23 minutes into the game. They're focusing some of their vision on the bottom side of the map, but they do have control on the top side too. We do see Red, 2 pink wards, 1 in the Tribush, 1 in the Baron pit, and so they may try to force another Baron play. They have the control on the bottom side of the map. Malzahar's forced to go take the minions there, and so they have the opportunity, if they want to set up for Baron and work a pick, because of how long it might take Malzahar to get here. He has no teleport, and he would have to float his happy ass all the way to the Baron, which you know takes a long time.
Yeah, and Tristana, though, it looked like she had enough money to buy a rapid fire cannon, but she spends it wisely to get the QSS. And here is the engage right here. They're gonna try to pick up onto the Zac. They don't want him to engage onto these fights, because if the Zac cannot engage on these fights, then why pick Zac, you know? If you can't even get in on the back line. But as I was saying, though, Tristana picks up the Quicksilver with the Zeal, does not fully invest on the rapid fire cannon. She goes more defensively here. They're gonna do this little dance here at the mid side. They will see who will win here, as the bot lane and the top lane, it looks to be in favor of the red team, but I think the bot lane looks to be more in favor of the blue side for right now at the moment. So there is no counter pressure here. They're just gonna try to keep poking down using the Zerath and also the Tristana onto that sieging moment onto the tower. And this is it. They're gonna go to the Baron pit,
Yep.
and might be a Baron fight right here.
Yeah, they have the control on the mid lane right now. Xerath and Sion are the ones poking away, trying to distract the rest of Decisive Maniacs, but they have sniffed it out. They're working their way towards the Baron. Xerath, though, trying to do his best to stave off any further aggression. Baron's almost down.
And this is definitely it. It's gonna be down, but who will win the smite?
Zach.
And the Zach is gonna steal the Baron. Will this be it? Is this the exchange that they are looking for?
Looks like it.
But I do not know that, as we will see who is gonna win this team fight. The Skarner is up, the Tristana is up, the Xerath is up, but they lose 2 of their members and they won't be able to continue on to this fight. Is this it? Is this how they turn the tables?
The great Dignitas throws of 2018, except it's not Dignitas. This time it's EVG Red, and Zach comes in for the 50-50, smites it away. Skarner has his smite available right now. I don't know if he just mistimed it or what, but I think it was just a lack of commitment from the team. EVG Red could have fully peeled off, stopped damage to the Baron completely, killed the Zach, and then not had to worry about it, but they decided they wanted to go with the 50-50, and sometimes that happens. So this is going to be their 3rd Drake of the game. They add an Ocean to the 2 Air Drakes that they have, and that will be a great thing for Decisive Maniacs to get themselves back into the game. A Baron buff is a good thing to have. It's going to stop the siege and all this pressure that the Tristana has been exerting, and at least give them a little bit of breathing room.
So this is it. Will it be in favor for Decisive Maniacs as they can potentially use this Baron to get back into the game? They are 4,000 gold below, and this is it. The unstoppable force is gonna go down for Sion, but there is no engage here. And while Gammy is gonna get caught, but there is a Braum. He's gonna add a lot of pressure. Tristana,
nice kites.
She's gonna play really aggressive. She's gonna put herself in the front, not caring for a world here. And here it is, EVG Red. It looks to be they are running, or maybe not yet. They want to continue on to this fight, and now they're running for their life here.
Yep.
Skarner, indecisive, cannot choose whether to go in for his teammate or to try to get out, or to try to do anything else but run. And he's gonna just go ahead and play safe. He's gonna put the ward down. I don't know if these guys are gonna continue on to this fight. It doesn't seem like anyone is committed, none of the sides, and there is the Braum passive, 3 stacks.
Gangplank
and
ult.
one more will go ahead and get that stun down, but here is Skarner. He is silent. It looks to be they're gonna continue on to this fight, and that tower is gonna hit the Gangplank for a bit of damage, but he's just gonna eat an orange and do that damage. And that barrel, it almost does 0 damage to the Sion, which is insane. And Zach, you hear him struggling on that elastic slingshot. He is almost out of health. He is pretty low, but he does have that Warmogs.
Here comes
and
Sion.
there it is. They're gonna continue on to this fight. Sion, he wants blood. He doesn't want them to leave. Here's the Tristana. She's gonna go in. Dragon Zord is gonna go down for sure here. And will they be able to continue on to this fight? And the flash fake out is gonna cost them that win. And this is the re-engage. This is hysterical. They cannot die. They're gonna continue on to this fight. Will Zach be able to get out? And no, his passive is gonna be procced up. Mousie's on the side. He's trying to do something, but he's so scared right now as the rest of his team have just fallen. And look at that. He overstays. He overcommits for nothing, and he's just gonna give away the double kill for EVG Red. This is a seesaw of emotions here. It was first one team with the Baron buff, and now here it is. It is another team with almost an ace. That's only 2 members of the Decisive Maniacs alive. They are not going to be able to defend against the full 5-man squad from EVG Red, and that is it. They're just going to push for this one inhib.
A seesaw of emotions, and it looks like EVG Red is the bullies of this playground. They absolutely crush in that fight. That was like a 1.5-minute long fight, and it started off with fantastic kiting and damage output from Jinagami that got Decisive Maniacs the lead in the first little skirmish. They got a couple of kills, but it lasted for so long in the mid lane, and they defended so well that Sion was able to come back up. He uses the ultimate, he misses, but that was okay because it zoned away the Varus and the Gangplank. They pick up a kill there, they continue the fight, and unfortunately there just wasn't a place where Jinagami could get in. They tried to kind of pincer with the Malzahar, but they made the EVG Red made the smart choice, and that's what you do on a pincer. You go after the member who is trying to flank, and that's what they did. They went after the Malzahar, they pick up the kill onto Iris, and they continue to stretch their lead out. They're about 6k up in gold. They have the 2 air drakes and the ocean drake available for themselves. The elder drake comes up in 2 minutes, and same with the baron's going to be spawning at about the same time. So I would expect that they don't really do much here except for try to establish control in the side lanes. They will have the super minions pushing in the mid lane, so as long as they play safe, the map is theirs and they can set up control around whatever objective they wish to focus, whether it's the Elder or the Baron.
On to the Xerath, they're gonna go ahead and try to get the pick off, but it will not be executed well. But that is a flash from the Xerath, and that is a good flash as well, and just in time. And there is the Sion. He's gonna go ahead and go base. He's gonna try to sneak a teleport maybe from the backside, and there it is an engage, a continue engage from the Xerath. He's gonna continue on with these pokes, and the Gangplank, he has no idea that the Sion is just sitting under the fountain right now, waiting for these team fights. He's gonna get that extra boost from the fountain as well. So this is gonna be a push to the bot, but this is not looking good at the moment. And here it is, Cypher. So he gets the pick. There is a Sion teleport, and they're gonna kill him almost instantly. And there is the Tristana reset, but it won't continue on. But here is World. He wants blood. He wants to kill. He wants to continue on to this. He wants to end this game in a 2-0 sweep, as they are
barrel
just
combo.
at the tower. They are just at the
Tarek's
gates
dead.
on this inhibitor tower, and Tarek is gonna die here.
We're on Tristana.
And Tristana is gonna get jumped onto here. A shutdown kill going for the Gangplank. Skarner, he gets pulled into the rest of the team here, and that is just a pit of wolves. And they are gonna go ahead and look for this chase, as this is not over yet.
Chains of Corruption is going to be available for Jinagami pretty soon. Xerath needs to be careful with the Zac on his tail. He uses the Spooky Ghost to try to get a little bit more space. They're taking pings onto the dragon, but they have to remember the inhibitor's down in the mid lane, and it's already taken out a Nexus turret. So there is still a huge advantage for EVG Red as they do start up. Oh, sorry, it's not an Elder Drake, it's just an Infernal. And so not as big of a deal, but it's nice that they do get a second Infernal Drake in their name, and the Baron is live.
They have protected their inhibitor with their lives. They took risk, and without that risk, they would have definitely lost more than what they would have thought they did. So right now, everyone on both sides, they all have flash except for the Xerath and the blue side. This is big. They all have flash, so they can all make their move here. And it seems like pings are going down. Those pings are the on my way pings, so maybe we might see a fight here around the Baron pit. Gangplank, he's at the bot side.
Yep.
He's trying to push up these waves. He's trying to make sure that those minions are in their favor, that they are in their odds, so that way he can join up with the rest of his team onto these team fights. And there is a huge wave on the top side. There is no, and I wish they would have gotten the Baron buff, but here it is, the Baron. This is their second chance to get it this time. And Tristoid, that was a weird flash from Irish, but I see what he was getting at. He wanted that pick so badly, so it looks to be they're gonna try to get something here in this narrow space. Xerath, this is his country right here, putting them all in a line, and that is a huge poke, and this is what they have come for. This is what they've practiced. This is what they play for. This is their challenge, and this is gonna be almost Actually, the inhibitor's gonna spawn, and here it is. They're gonna try to put a lot more pressure. They don't want them to go back to base and defend that inhibitor. The Parasol is gonna land, and here it is. Sion, he's in the back lane, and that Terracol is not gonna proc enough, fast enough for Siphon, but he is gonna risk his life here, and there's the Tristana with the reset. It's gonna get rid of both of the carries. That
Give her the
is
Penta.
almost all their damage. Malzahar, he is the only one alive to do damage here.
Penta!
It's gonna happen. This is the charge. The charge is gonna blow up. It's gonna proc his passive, and the Tristana with the static shift. It's gonna proc the last kill here, and
she's going.
Gonna get the kill here, and while the stun and with the reflex on that cleanse, he's gonna go ahead and run back to base, but no, it is not fast enough. He could not make it. 4 members of Decisive Maniacs are dead, and this is gonna be game, I think, because look at that. We got 15 seconds on the Bears. We got 14 seconds on the Gangplank. There is no wave clear. Mouse is on a fresh timer. Zach is on a 22nd, and this looks to be game here as EVG Red, they will go ahead and take the sweep 2-0. GG.
That's right. 35 minutes in the game. Took them 10 minutes longer this time. But EVG, decisive 2-0 over the Decisive Maniacs, and a little more maniacal than Decisive that game. But either way, EVG Red played fantastically. 2 games in a row, 2 siege compositions, and it worked out for him. The Tristana 14, 5, and 7. The Xerath 5-0 and 12, and those carries went absolutely ham. They poked. When they got the poke on the priority targets, they sieged. When they tried to get engaged upon, they disengaged, and they played that so phenomenally. Great attempt by Decisive Maniacs, but unfortunately they just weren't able to get onto the Tristana in the last fight. She pops off, and Reason was giving me reasons to praise him and maybe throw him in the running for an MVP.
So that was game, guys. So this is it. Is that really it, right? This is
that
the only
is.
game we're going to do. So I would like to make some announcements. If you guys liked my commentary, I am only on my 4th week in practice. I am a solo learner, you know, I'm progressing. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to, you know, I constantly love to stream scrims in order to practice, to get better at my shoutcasting and my play-by-play. So if you guys did like my play-by-play, please throw in a follow. My name on the Twitch is on Official Mighty Rai, because I swear someone took my Mighty Rai. Oh, Icky, someone took my Mighty Rai, Icky.
Don't let him take it. Get it back.
I will try to get it back once I have partner with Twitch. So I'll tell him I want to be partner, but you're gonna kick that Mighty Rai out because he's not doing content and I am. So if you guys liked my play-by-play, this is my first day here, so I'm sorry if I got some names wrong, especially team names. This is once I get more familiar with the organization, there'll be a lot less mistakes for me to do. But honestly, like, all these mistakes, they are my learning experience, they are my learning curve, and I swear I promise I will get better for more better content release as well. So be excited for that. And if you guys want to support me, and especially Icky, because he is the man, his playful commentary just brought up my energy up to like a super high. You know, it felt like I ate or swallowed like 50 pixie dust, you know, like the
that's expensive.
straws.
Yeah,
that's expensive, but that is a hell of a sugar rush. So if you like me and Icky together, then, you know, I'm so happy for you guys. I'm so, like, you know, we are here to provide the entertainment, to make these games live and to make them more intense and also make them seem like a real live action movie. So Official Mighty Rai and Icky, thank you for having me here. Great playful, sorry, not playful, colorful shoutcasting, and I'll see you later, Icky.
Glad to be here, and for Nightfall League, we hope to see you guys again real soon. Have a good night.